Santa Claus is coming. Oops! Hello, bookworms. Welcome back to our channel. My name is IC and I'm Ivy. Okay, so it's been a while. Yep. We've been going through really bad reading slumps. It's so bad. But I think we're now I just past the reading slump. So which is not really. I think I haven't fully recovered, but I'm not in the deep part. It's getting there. I think I've gotten out of it. It's just like when you're in a pool and you get your hands on the, what do you call that? The ledge. I'm just about to lift my head up. It's still there. So we're gonna do the Christmas song book tag. It's originally by Haley in Bookland. So we're gonna link her original video tag down below. Playing You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. I don't even know that song. Name a villainous character you couldn't help but love. Thank you so much for that wonderful question. The only thing that I'm remembering right now is The Tall, because I just finished reading it. I would say Scythe Robert Goddard from the Arc of a Scythe series. I don't love him. I just like how effective the portrayal of like how evil a villain he is. So effective, and it's like you just want to it makes you angry, like when you read Scythe Thunderhead and The Tall, and he's there and he does all these villainy stuff, and it's like, how could someone be so evil? So my favorite villain would be Marcella from Vengeful, the second book to the villain series. I've mentioned her before in one of our videos. I think it was the mid-year. Yeah, it was. And I really loved her character. She's like the symbol of a strong female in the story. Because everyone in that series seems to be against each other. So it's like your choice of who to root for, because they're all villains. I don't know who's the protagonist, who's the antagonist. Is it like that the whole book? Yeah. It's All I Want for Christmas is You. Which book or books do you most hope to see under your Christmas tree? I'm gonna think of this as the book that I haven't read yet. The Tall by Neil Shusterman. I haven't read it yet. I want to read it soon. It's the last book of the Arc of a Scythe series. My favorite series so far. Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, because whenever I go to the library, that's like the first book I search. Ali Wong's book, if you don't know her, she's a comedian and you can watch 2 of her shows on Netflix and she's very funny. And another book is Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. A lot of people seem to like it. Sounds like a good book and it's got like average 4-star rating. Third song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Name a character that overcomes major obstacles and learns to believe in themselves. I have a good one. I read A Very Large Expanse of Sea early this year and I don't even remember what the name of that girl is. I don't think her self-esteem was that great. Her family migrated to the States and I think she was born there. She's Muslim and she wears a hijab, and then I remember this scene where she walks into an English class and then the English teacher was like, oh, there's this other class for ESL, like English as a second language, and she was like, I born here. And she talked back to the teacher, which I thought was like, wow, but you know, deep inside, deep inside, she's like, oh my gosh. And then there's a scene where she goes back to, I don't know where she's from, and then they're like, oh, you're too American, and then when she's in the States, she's a minority, so she's like, I don't know where I belong. But at the end of the book, her character development was her character developed. I don't know, she finally believed in herself. I don't really remember the ending, but how I felt about the book, it was like, Okay, so this is the book that I recently read. It's called After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, the main character there named Lauren, when she realizes that there wasn't much communication between her and her husband. I don't know, because they've been together for more than 10 years, and because of the length of their relationship and 1 year of marriage, they kind of had a fallout. So they decided to be separated for 1 year to realize what they really want in life and in their relationship. During their separation, you can see the development of Lauren with her family, her friends, and especially with herself, because I think it feels like she kind of lost herself during that relationship. She realized that she has to do some things on her own. Prompt number 4 has actually 2 parts, so it's Santa Claus is coming. Oops! First part of this is, which character do you think should be on top of the naughty list? And the second part is, which character should be on top of the nice list? The naughty list. Since I've also recently read My Sister, the Serial Killer.
Oh, man!
It's about 2 sisters. One of them, she's in a relationship. She ends up killing the boyfriend. So, I forgot her name. I think she ends up in the naughty list because she's a murderer. And in the nice list, I would put the alien from Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. It's a graphic novel. He was set to explore Earth and meet the humans on Earth. He learns about friendship, love, existence. It's really heartwarming. I really love the alien. And I think he should be in the nice list. He deserves the things he wants. Number 1 on my naughty list. Daisy Jones from Daisy Jones and the Six. I mean, I understand that she has like issues with her parents not really being there for her, and she like looks for love in all the wrong places, like drugs, guys who just use her to make music. I respect her no bullshit attitude, and you know, what you see is what you get. Everyone's like, oh, Daisy Jones is so cool, Daisy Jones is so cool. Like, why is she so glorified? When she uses drugs and she gets high and she's pretty much irresponsible. She's like, I do whatever I want. I'm not responsible for other people think. And it's just like, that's not the behavior I would want kids of the next generation to embody. You know. But I love that book. It was just her character's just a bit, girl, get clean. Actor who would top my nice list for Santa would be Circe, because she is so selfless. She helps the sailors. So she was exiled to this island here, and then the sailors would like go, you know, try and take advantage of her. But she protects herself, and then she shows them how capable she is. But she still welcomes them, which is why she's nice. Circe was exiled, and she was helping people go through there's a monster in the middle of the sea, and she helped them get through. So Circe, that's the nice list. Oh, wow. Very good. Song number 5, Frosty the Snowman. Which book just melts your heart? Ay, girl, everybody is an alien. Okay. Yeah, so we have the same one. Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too, by Johnny Sun. Like what I mentioned earlier for my nice list. That's the book. It's a very deceiving book, because when you look at it, it's like, oh my God, it's so cute. When you actually read it, it's like, oh, thought-provoking. At people who are going through quarter-life crisis or identity crisis, listen to The Egg. The Egg was like, I was worried about what I would become in the future, that I didn't realize I can be anything I want to be right now. Everyone's worried about the future. You can actually start now and, you know, make something out of yourself. You're gonna be like, oh, when I'm ready. I do this when I'm ready. I'll do this when I feel like I'm good enough. But, you know, you're already good enough. For example, if you want to start a side business, a creative side business, why are you waiting for Christmas? You don't have to wait till you're ready, because you won't really be ready. the moral of the book is like it's okay to be sad because today's society dictates like, oh, sadness is not a good thing. You don't show people you're sad. You don't show people you're weak. And you know, all this stuff on social media, they show like all the good stuff, blah blah blah. It's okay to be sad.
Life goes on. Without the sadness,
Books.
you won't really feel what's making us happy.
True.
Yeah. Being sad is valid.
It's a very heartwarming book. It's got all the fluff.
Look at the illustration.
Yeah.
So cute. Feliz Navidad. Choose a book that takes place in a country other than your own.
Almost all books that are not set in the Philippines.
Or Australia.
Yeah, or Australia. So the book I'm currently reading is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It's set in Paris and Germany, and it's during before World War II, so before the World War happens. It's about a blind French girl and a German boy. I haven't read the part where they meet. I'm still in the part where everything's still building up. I'm liking it so far, but I think it's a bit slow.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, it's a bit heavy because it's an adult book. Requires more brain processing.
I don't even know if I've read any books that are set in the Philippines aside from the book we read for the Asian readathon, the 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. So since she talked about the current book she's reading, I'm gonna talk about the current book that I'm reading. I'm reading Six of Crows. I don't know where it's set.
I think Russia or Europe.
I think it's somewhere like in a fantasy Russian world. It's not exactly Russia, but it's a fantasy world that's inspired by Russia. Yeah, that's my Feliz Navidad.
Song number 7. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Which holiday themed book do you use to spread the Christmas joy?
I haven't read any Christmas books. The only one I can think of is Let It Snow. Didn't really like it that much, but I watched the Netflix adaptation, and it was actually pretty fun to watch compared to the book. But other than that, I can't really think of anything for this number.
So I think everyone has this answer as well. So I'm gonna say Harry Potter.
Oh, it's not Christmas. They just drink butter beer.
It's always cold there.
Alright. Alright.
Harry Potter always feels very Christmassy.
Number 8, Sleigh Ride. Which fictional character would you choose to spend the holidays with? Doesn't have to be a love interest. I love that. Doesn't have to be a love interest. For the sake of this answer, I don't know. Let's check our Goodreads. Definitely not this beach. Not that beach. Nope, nope. Definitely not these guys. Definitely not these guys. In conclusion, I would rather spend the holidays by myself. Cassidy's family looks fun. Maybe Cersei because she has like unlimited food.
Maybe for me, A Man Called O. It's about a grumpy old man who lives by himself. It's like Up because he's just lonely. Just to accompany him during the holidays because even though he's a grouchy old man, he's still a genuine person deep inside. So number 9 is Baby It's Cold Outside. Which book that you didn't like would you sacrifice to a fire to warm yourself up in the cold?
Girl, we need a separate video for this. Book that I read recently that I was like, what is this? But I still read the whole thing. It's The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks. I'm so sorry, but this was just like I could not. I will definitely throw this in the fire or in the garbage can or use it as fertilizer.
It would be A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J.
Did you read it this year?
I read it 2017. It's a very thick book. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
How is it Beauty and the Beast retelling?
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Why is it Beauty and the Beast? Apparently they all have big dicks. Big dicks and thirsty beaches. That's what Cindy said. How is it so
Big dicks.
How is it Beauty and the Beast? I don't understand. Did you see the Beauty and the Beast retelling?
No. It's just mostly about thirsty bitches.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. I throw it many times in the fire just to keep myself
Throw all
warm.
the copies.
That's good writing, but in the story, doesn't really make sense. There's no moral to that story, so it's like a young adult version of
Erotic.
yeah, erotic.
Which is
I
why
finished the book, but then I wouldn't want to read the next few books after that.
So number 10, do you hear what I know this song? Which book do you think everyone should read? I think we have the same answer
Yes,
again, and then she's gonna get angry at me again. Need I say more?
So I have read Scythe and Thunderhead last year. I really loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. So The Tall just came out this year. Last month. I have to read this. These are the Arc of the Scythe series and we really love it. We've made a book talk about this and we'll make another one after I read this.
The reason why this is one of the books that I actually recommend to people, because there's actually quite a few people who aren't really readers that ask for recommendations, and we recommended this and they're like, oh! My husband isn't really a reader, but I asked him to read this and he was like, oh. He listened to the audiobooks. This is like, I would highly recommend. Anyway, I used to keep saying this is a dystopian novel, but it's not a dystopian novel, it's a utopian novel where like they live in a perfect world where death, illness, and all of that stuff that can kill you does not exist, and then so nobody dies. So in order to control the population, there's people called scythes who kill them permanently just to control the population. And this, the Thunderhead, which is like the kind of like a god,
like a cloud.
Yeah, where all of the information is stored. It knows everything, every single thing about everything, everyone, every living thing. It can control the temperature, it can control the weather, it can control like everything, the conditions perfect for living, for its people. And you can actually talk to the Thunderhead, and you can actually like, oh, what am I gonna do? The people here are heavily dependent on the Thunderhead. But the Thunderhead and the Scythedom are completely separate things. So it's like separation of church and state. They do not mingle. And then the Tall, which revolves around a religion that they're called Tolnists. They're like a religious sect that they don't want to depend on the Thunderhead, and they don't interact with Scythes. So they choose not to interact with these two. It all coalesce. Spell coalesce perfectly in this third book, where the origins of Scythe and the Thunderhead and the Tonists are explained in this one. You got to read it so we can talk about it.
So that concludes our Christmas song book tag.
What are we supposed to do?
If you want to do this book tag, we weren't tagging this book tag anyway.
We just
felt like doing it. But yeah, if you want to do this book tag, feel free to do so, because it's the holiday season and it's almost Christmas time and almost the end of the year. If you read any of the books that we mentioned, let's talk about it down below, and check out our videos here and here.
Merry Christmas, you feel
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas.